Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make these adult slippers, and they're perfect for men and women. It's a really simple design. The only differences between the left and the right shoe are the first few rounds. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make the right shoe, but I will tell you how to make the left shoe of course as well. But the rest of the pattern from there onwards is identical, so you only need to worry about the first few rounds being different. So what you're going to need some chunky, bulky weight yarn, and I've chosen a white and a green colour. This is 100% acrylic, so it's really, really soft. But of course you may want to use something a little bit more environmentally friendly in wool. We're going to be using a 5.5mm crochet hook, and you're also going to need some scissors and a yarn needle. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, we're going to be making the right shoe, and you want to take your white yarn, your chunky bulky weight yarn, and your 5.5mm crochet hook, and we're going to chain 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and this is the same for the left and the right shoe. So you want to chain 9, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the second stitch from hook. And our second stitch, this loop on the hook we don't count as a stitch, and that's our first chain, and then that's our second chain there. So we want to work into that second one, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Excuse me. So we're going to put our hook through, and you want to make sure you're only catching that top bit of yarn, because we're going to be working into these chains again the other side, so we only want to catch this top bit of yarn there. So we put our hook through, pull our yarn through, so we've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops to complete a half double crochet, and we want 2 of those. We do yarn over, go into the same stitch, grab our yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so then we want to work 1 half double crochet in the next 6 chains. So just 1 half double crochet in the next 6 chains, and again just making sure just to catch that top piece of yarn like so. So that's 1 half double crochet in the next 6. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and that should leave you with 1 chain at the end. And in that last chain we're going to work 5 half double crochets, which I know sounds a lot, but we're going to work 5 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and you'll find as you're working these, your project will begin turning around clockwise, just so you can fit them in. And this is good because it sort of works us round in a circle, so we can end up working back along these chains again. That's 4 and 5, and now you can see that the chains are now on top rather than bottom, and we're going to be working back along these, and these are called foundation chain stitches, and our first one is technically our last stitch that we've just worked those 5 half double crochets in. So we need to work in our second one, and sometimes it can hide away a little bit down there, and we can end up working into that one by accident, so do check your stitch count as you work along. So we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 6 foundation chains. So we need to make sure we're catching that first one there, and because we only worked into the top piece of yarn the other side, it means we can see these chains easier. So that's the first one, and I'm going to work this tail end into our work as well, so just to neaten that off. So the next one, so that's our next half double crochet, and then our next one. So we're just doing it in 6, the next 6. So it's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then that should leave us with one foundation chain at the end there. And in there we want to work 3 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and then that means that we've got 5 each end. So we had 2 at the beginning, plus our 3 is 5, and then we did 5 this end. So now that's nice and even, and by the end of those 2 rows, so all these stitches now, these ones and these ones, they should add up to 22 stitches. So you should have 22 stitches by the end of that, and if you haven't got 22, then do go back and make sure you haven't missed a foundation chain. Now we don't want to join our round, we just want to work straight into our next stitch, which is going to be this one here. Okay, because we're working the right shoe, the right hand shoe, right foot shoe even, we need to be making our increases this end. So what we're going to do is we're going to work 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2, like so, and then we want to work 1 half double crochet in the next 20 stitches. In the next 20, we're going to go straight into the next stitch, and we're just working 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to do that for the next 20 stitches. So that's 2, 3, okay, so I'm just coming up to the last stitch, 20, and then in the very last stitch we want to work 2 half double crochets again. And like I said, this is the beginnings of the right shoe. What I'll do is I'll show you how to do the beginnings of the left shoe as well in this video, don't worry. And what we're going to do then is we're then going to do 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. So at the end of that round, round 2, you should have 24 stitches now because we've increased by 2. And so what we want to do for the next round is we want to do 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. So we go straight into that next stitch there at the top and do 1 half double crochet, and then you want to do an increase of 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. So we're going to do 2, so that's 1 and 2, and then you want to work 1 half double crochet all the way around to the other side, so that's going to be 1 half double crochet in the next 21 stitches. It's 21, so that's 1, 2, the last one, 21. And in the very last stitch we need to work 2 half double crochets, and that should match up with your previous increases on the last round. So you want to do 2 half double crochets like that. So by the end of that round you should have 26 stitches because you've increased by 2 again. And what you can see is this is the time where you need to make sure that you're working, this is going to be the outside of your shoe, of your slipper, and that's going to be the inside. So we're going to be making sure we're working away, as it were. So do make sure when your project looks like this that you're folding it this way. So our foot's going to go inside here, and that's going to be the outside. Okay, so what we want to do for the next round is we want to work 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So that's 1 and 2, 1 in the next stitch, and then we want to work 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, and you should see that should line up with your previous increases. So that's 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 and 2, and then we're going to work 1 half double crochet all the way round. So it's 1 half double crochet in the next, let me just work out, 22 stitches. So that's 1 half double crochet in the next 22. So that's 1, 2 and 22. And in the very last stitch you want to work 2 half double crochets, and again they should line up with your previous increases. So it's 2 half double crochets, so it's 1 and 2. Okay, and we haven't been joining any of these rounds, so don't join them. Again, by the end of that round you should have 28 stitches because we've increased by 2 again. So what we want to do now is we want to work 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Then we want to work our increase of 2 half double crochet, and again they should match up with your previous increases. So that's 2 half double crochet. Then we're going to work 1 half double crochet all the way around again, and that's going to be 1 half double crochet in the next 23 stitches. Okay, so that's 1, 23, which should leave us 1 stitch at the end of that round, and we want to do 2 half double crochet, again lining up with your previous increases in the last stitch. So that's 2 half double crochet, and if you get a bit lost, you can always make sure, you should know that these increases are at the end of your last stitch, at least for the right shoe. But if you want to, if you're not comfortable with counting, and you might lose your place, and you could always put like a little bit of yarn just to remember your stitch count if you wanted to. But by the end of round 5 you should have 30 stitches. Okay, 30 stitches, and that's where we stop to make this unique for being the right shoe. And as you can see, what it's created is it's created a straight edge this end where we've just gone round, we haven't done any increases, but where we've made the increases, it's made the shoe come out. And if you compare that with the left shoe, which is the opposite, this side is straight and that side is where our increases are. And this is so that we don't have a square-ended shoe, that we have it bigger here where we've got our big toe, then it curves in and it fits much neater. But what I'll do is show you how to make the left shoe stitches, the first 5 rounds for the left shoe at the end of the video. But this is the first 5 rounds are the only rounds that make the shoe unique, being left or right. The rest of the pattern from row 6 onwards to the end are identical for each shoe. So what we want to do now is we want to move on to round 6. And for round 6 it's very simple. I can get my hook in. We are just literally working 1 half double crochet in each stitch around. So we keep a stitch count of 30. And we're going to do that for round 6 to 13. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 8 rounds. Sorry, my math's not very good. So for the next 8 rounds, we're just going to be doing 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, keeping a stitch count of 30. So we're going to do that for 8 rounds. So I'm going to do that now and then I'll come back. So that's 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the last stitch, and I've basically just worked 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, and I've done that for 8 rounds. So you should end up somewhere in the middle. If you flatten down your slipper, you should end up somewhere in the middle like that. So it should look a little something like that. And what you want to do now is we're going to go on to round 14, and we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 25 stitches. So and 25, which brings us to the edge here, and we want to stop there because now we're going to be working this part of the shoe, the opening. So what we do now is we're going to stop there and we're going to chain one. We're going to chain one, but we're not going to count that as a stitch. That's just going to be a turning stitch. Then we're going to turn our work, and we need to work back along these stitches, these 25 stitches we just worked. So you chain one and you turn, but we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 21 stitches, and our first half double crochet needs to go in that very first stitch there. So we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 21 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 21. And then we want to stop there because we've reached the other side. So this is what it looks like if we flatten it down. You can see the opening of the shoe starting to appear. So after 21 we need to stop, and we're going to chain one. We're going to chain one, and we're not going to count this as a stitch, it's just our turning stitch. Then we're going to turn and we're going to go back along these stitches again. And we're just going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 21. So we're just working 21 stitches now. So that's 2, and last one, 21. Like so. Now we're just going to repeat this method. We're just going to do chain one, don't count that as a stitch, turn, and then 1 half double crochet, making sure to go into that first stitch, 1 half double crochet in each stitch along, making sure you've only got 21 stitches. I'm going to do that for another 7 rows, so 7 rows, which will take us up to round 22. So you want to do chain one, turn, 1 half double crochet in each stitch along, and chain one, turn, go back again. We're going to do that for 7 more rows, okay? Now then, I just want to add, if you want to make this shoe longer or smaller in length, you can either do more or less rounds of these 1 half double crochets in each stitch around, or these ones here. So you can do more or less of these rounds if you want to make it longer or smaller. And if you want to make the shoe thinner, you just do less chains at the very beginning and just work your stitch count accordingly. And again, if you want to make it wider, you can do more chains at the beginning and then work your stitch count accordingly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chain one, turn, and work 1 half double crochet in each stitch along, and we're going to do that for 7 rows. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the last 2 stitches on my 7th row. It's the last one. Like that. I was going to pull it up a sec so I can show you how it looks. So it should look a little something like that. You've just gone backwards and forwards. And okay, and now we've basically just got a shoe without an end, and this is the magic bit, I always think, the way of closing this up without sewing. And what we're going to do is we're just going to chain one and turn again. So chain one and turn again. But what we're going to do is we're going to work 5 half double crochet 2 stitches together. We'll do it 5 times. So to half double crochet 2 stitches together, I need to do yarn over. We're going to go into that first stitch as normal. We're going to grab our yarn, so we've got 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to do yarn over again and go into the next stitch, grab our yarn. So we end up with 5 loops on our hook. Then we do yarn over and we just pull through all 5 loops, and that half double crochets 2 stitches together. We're going to do that 5 times. So we're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over to the next stitch, stop, yarn over, next stitch. So you've got 5 loops, and then yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, like so. Let's do that another 3 times. So yarn over to the next stitch, grab our yarn, 3 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, grab our yarn, So we've got 5 loops, and then yarn over, pull through all 5 loops. Let's do that twice more. And that's our last one completed. Then we're just going to do 1 half double crochet by itself in the next stitch, like so. So that's just a half double crochet, and then we're going to do 5 half double crochet 2 stitches together again. So exactly the same we've done here, we're going to now do it here along the next stitch. So I'm going to do that 5 times again. So into the next stitch, grab our yarn, yarn over, into the next stitch. So you're just half double crocheting 2 stitches together 5 times. That should use up all your stitches on that row. So we've got 4 left. Now we've got 2 left. Some more yarn. And that completes the last decrease. And as you can see, that slowly bringing in the end of our shoe, like so. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 1, and turn again. So chain 1 and turn. By the end of that last row, you should have 11 stitches. So I'm going to chain 1, don't count that as a stitch, and turn, and then we're going to half double crochet 2 stitches together twice. So we're just going to do that twice. So go straight into that first stitch there, grab our yarn, yarn over to the next stitch for our decrease, yarn over, pull through all 5. We'll do that once more, then yarn over to the next stitch. Sorry about the background noise. And now what we're going to do half double crochet 3 stitches together. So to do that, we do yarn over into the next stitch, grab our yarn, so we've got 3 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, grab our yarn, so we've got 5 loops, and then we're going to do yarn over again into the next stitch and grab our yarn, so we've got 7 loops on our hook, and we're going to do yarn over and pull through all 7 like so, and then that does half double crochet 3 stitches together. Then we're just going to finish up in the last 4 stitches with 2 half double crochet 2 stitches together decreases. So half double crochet 2 stitches together twice, and this is the last one. Then that should bring your stitch count down to only 5 stitches, and as you can see, it's bringing in the end of the shoe there. So you should have 5 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and turn again. And this time we're going to do a half double crochet 2 stitches together. So into that first stitch, grab our yarn, yarn over into the next stitch, grab your yarn, so you've got 5 loops. So half double crochet 2 stitches together. Then we're just going to do a half double crochet by itself in the middle. And then we're going to decrease the last 2. So we're going to do a half double crochet 2 stitches together over the last 2. Like so. And then that should leave you 3 stitches. You can see the ends come right up. And all we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do a half double crochet 3 stitches together. So literally we're going to crochet the last 3 together. So we're going to do yarn over into the first stitch, grab our yarn, so we've got 3 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, grab our yarn, so we've got 5 loops, then yarn over into that last stitch, grab our yarn, so we've got 7 loops. I don't know why I sound really excited then, 7 loops. And then yarn over, pull through all 7 like so. And then we're going to fasten off. And we're going to pull our yarn up to secure that into place. And don't worry about it looking a bit bumpy at the back, because that's going to be neatened off. So your shoe should look a little something like this. And there we go. And hopefully you've made it to fit your length. But this one here that I've shown you is designed for a size 6.5 to 7, and that's UK size. So this fits me perfectly. But like I said, you can increase these rounds if you want to make it longer, or these rounds here to make it longer if you want more space here. And yes, what we're going to do now is we're going to tie in this end. So we're just going to sew this end in, and I'm going to sew it through there. So I'm going to get my yarn needle, and this just tidies up our ends so we can then do our finishing stitches. So I'm just going to go through there just to bring that stitch down to neaten off like so, and then I'm just going to hide this on the inside. I'm just going to come through again just to make sure that's really secure, and then I'm just going to work that through my project just along, just to hide this tail end. And I'm going to come back in the opposite direction, which secures it into place like so, and then I'm just going to trim that. Okay, so it should look a little something like that. You can see that's neatened off. We're going to neaten off that even more, because what we're going to do now is we're actually going to rejoin our white yarn anywhere on the back. So just find a gap, doesn't matter where, but as long as it's at the back of the shoe. And we're going to reintroduce our white yarn. We're just going to do a chain 1 like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to work 1 single crochet around the edge of this shoe. Now along here obviously that will be easy to do because we've got proper stitches, but here we don't have proper stitches. So what you need to do is just work a single crochet just neatly along the edge. So find some gaps to go through like so, and just work a neat, so don't stretch it too much and don't do too many, just work it nice and neatly along the edge, but don't worry too much about where it's going through. As long as it's fairly near the edge, you don't want to be like right down here. So this is just working 1 single crochet neatly around the edge, and it doesn't matter what your stitch count is, so don't worry too much about that. So I'm just going to do that around the edge until I get back to the beginning. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the end. I'm just going to work just 1 more stitch somewhere, and then I want to, just going to slip stitch into that first chain 1 that I did. You see what I'm doing? If I can find the stitch. There we go. But instead of grabbing the white yarn, you're going to introduce your alternate colour, and in this case the green. And again, this is a chunky, bulky weight yarn. Don't confuse it with super chunky or super bulky. And then we're just going to, instead of wrapping the white yarn over, we're going to introduce the green yarn. I'm just going to wrap that around the hook. I'm going to pull that through, and then slip stitch to join. I'm going to pull my tail ends to make sure that's tight, all 3 tail ends, like so. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to work 1 slip stitch around each of our single crochets. So we can go straight into the next stitch, grab our yarn, we're going to work a slip stitch like so. I'm just going to do that around the edge. This creates a really nice neat finish to the opening of our shoe. It also neatens off the back and creates a more comfortable fit as well. So just 1 slip stitch in each of your single crochets around. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the last stitch, And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slip stitch into that first slip stitch just to join the green colours, and then we're going to fasten off our green and fasten off our white, pull that through, and then all that's left to do is to tie in your ends, and I was going to tie this in the same as I did for the other tail ends, so I'm just going to do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've just finished tying in my ends, a similar way to how I did the other tail end I showed you. And there we go, there's our finished shoe. And as you can see, the green creates a nice trim around the edge, just slip stitches. So this is the right shoe, or slipper, and there's our left one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to start the left shoe at the beginning for the first few rounds. But from there onwards, the pattern is identical. So I'm just going to show you the beginning of that, and then what I'll do is I'll put like a little tag or something on this video so you can skip back to the part where we start from here, so you don't have to hunt for it. Okay, so let's begin on the left shoe. And for the left shoe we do exactly the same, we chain 9 to begin. So we just chain 9 to begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 half double crochet in our second stitch from hook. So we don't count that one, that's our first and that's our second. So we're going to do yarn over to do our half double crochet. We're going to do 2 half double crochet in that second stitch. So there's one and another one in the same stitch, like so. Then we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 6, making sure again just to catch that top piece of yarn. So we're going to do that 1 half double crochet in the next 6. So this is the same as for the right shoe. 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, which leaves us with 1 chain, and in that last chain we're going to do 5 half double crochets, exactly the same as we did for the right shoe. So that's 1, 2, 3, so you can see it's moving around clockwise, 4 and 5, which allows us to work back into our chains again, and because we only caught the top piece of yarn we can see these chains a lot easier. So we're going to work, that's our first foundation chain, we've worked the 5 half double crochets in. So in the second one, which is always hidden down here, we're going to do just a half double crochet by itself, and we're going to do that in the next 6 foundation chains. So that's 1. I'm going to work this tail end in as well, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And in the very last one, we're just going to work 3 half double crochets. So that's 1, excuse me, 2 and 3. So it's exactly the same as the right shoe. You should have 22 stitches. But what we're going to do this time, this is where it gets different. For the next 4 rounds, it's different. So we're not going to join, we're just going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 10 stitches. So we're not increasing this end, we're going to increase this end instead. So we want to do 1 half double crochet in the next 10 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So in the next stitch we do 2 half double crochet increase. So that's 1 and 2 in the same stitch. And then again in the next stitch we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So that's 1 half double crochet and then another in the same stitch, like so. And then we're just going to work 1 half double crochet in the last 10 stitches. So that's 1 by itself, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 in the last stitch, like so. And then by the end of that round you should have 24 stitches, exactly the same as a right shoe, and that's at the end of round 2. I'm calling this round 2. And but like on the right shoe we work the increases this end, but on the left shoe we're working the increases down this end. So I want to make sure our work pops out this way as well, so our foot goes on the inside there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 11 stitches. So that's, oops, let's catch that properly. So 1 half double crochet in the next 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. And then we want to work our increase of 2 half double crochets, and that should match up with your previous increases. So that's 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Like that. And then we're going to work 1 half double crochet by itself in the next stitch. And then we're going to do another increase which matches up with our increases in the previous round. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And then that should leave you with 10 stitches. And we're just going to work 1 half double crochet in those next 10 stitches. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And to make sure that you've ended up in the right place, you should find that the very last, where we did those 3 double crochets back on round 1, you should find that the stitch above there was the last stitch and the last stitch is there. So you can always double check that you've ended up in the right stitch. If you lose your stitch count, it should line up, if that makes sense. And by the end of round 3 you should have 26 stitches. And what we're going to do now in round 4 is we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 12 this time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and this should get you to your increases again, and you need to work 2 half double crochet increase in the next stitch, and they should line up with your previous ones. It's 2 half double crochets, that's 1 and 2. Then this time we want to do 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. That's 1 and 2, which gets us over to our next increase. And then we need to do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, which lines up with our previous increases. It's 2 half double crochet. And then that should leave you again with just 10 stitches. So we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the last 10 stitches. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and again you should see that that should line up with your last stitch. Where is it? Last stitch there. There was our increase of 3 in round 1, so should line up. And by the end of that round you should have 28 stitches. And then for round 5 we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 13. Now as you can see it's going up by 1 each time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, which should bring us to our increase again, and we're going to do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, making sure to line up your increases. And this time we're going to work 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches at the end. That's 1, 2, 3, and which brings us to our next increase, and we're going to do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then that should leave you again just with 10 stitches, and we're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of those 10 next stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh, lost it, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. As you can see, that's lining up the last stitch, and that's why by the time you've done your just normal rounds of 1 half double crochet and the length, it ends up in the middle because it's gradually moving over. But we stop there, and that is the only difference for the left shoe, because it creates the increases on this edge. As you can see here, it's on softer edge this side now instead of this side. So all we need to do now is go back to the point of the video, which I'll put like a little notification on where to skip back to, so you can continue rounds 6 to 26 of the right shoe, which is identical. So that's round 6 to 26 are identical as the other shoe. So just skip back to those, and then you should have your left shoe. Okay. And as you can see, I've still got yarn left, so one ball of yarn, 100-gram ball of yarn, was sufficient for one pair of slippers. And I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. And of course you can now decorate and keep these plain if they're for a gentleman in your life. You can make these in a dark grey colour or blue or something, or you can make them more girly and use perhaps a nice pink trim with some flowers. So you can have fun decorating them. But I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. So there we go, get a good view. And I just want to say a huge welcome to all my new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying my channel. And sorry if I'm not replying to all your comments as much as I used to. The whole system change with Google Plus has made it a little bit more difficult for me to see my comments and reply to them. There's been a few glitches, so do bear with me on that, because I do like to reply to all of my comments as best as I can. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I will see you soon for some more crochet fun. Thanks for watching. Bye!